This space didn't exist, right? So I mean, it's a new medium, and I think that it's a medium of the future as well. And you get a chance to talk about stories that normally you won't be able to fit into a 2 hour narrative or a 2.5 hour narrative. So the idea was to explore those kind of stories which could merit a longer narrative, a 7 hour, 8 hour narrative, and do justice to them. So it's a new playing field, and we felt that there are so many stories that we will never be able to make into films. We can now chase them in this format. My colleague, basically Ravi Kachawa, he handed me the book and asked me to read it. And he was the one who was instrumental in sort of getting Sirish on board, get the rights, and then get the whole thing going. So it was about 4 years back, if I'm not mistaken, that technically the journey started. And mind you, that was also the time when we were coming out of lockdowns and stuff like that. So I remember on our first recce to Morocco, me and Sheetal, we were there, and the country went into a lockdown on a very short notice, 6 hour notice to be precise. And we literally had to, get up and going. And so, yeah, those are my milestones in terms of timelines, if you ask me. Okay. Yeah, so 4 hour journey coming to an end now on the 15th of December. The rights of the book were bought with the intention of converting into a series. Okay. We shared the book with our friends at Disney Hotstar. And they were equally excited at the prospect of it being into a series. Okay. The whole season 1 was shot in one go. Right. The decision to split it in 2 parts was taken much later. Much later. Yeah, it was a decision that was taken when we were in the post of it. Yeah. Times are ever changing, so it's not that we are stuck in one passage of time and then that's the kind of content that works. And it's a combination again of several factors. The world has changed. And viewing habits have changed to a certain degree. What has not changed is the fact that you're always looking for a good story, and a good story will always work. Right. So that has not changed. That's the only constant, and that constant is the crux of the show business. If it's a research-based subject, then you want to travel, you want to know the person, the place, whatever the environment, which was the case in MS. I had to meet MS on a regular basis for a certain period of time and then figure out if there's a story in the first place or not. And so it's a different process for different films. Yeah, if it's an out-and-out fiction film, then basis what you've read, if you've traveled, and like in the case of Baby, it was something that was a combination of both again. So yeah. So it totally depends on the subject. Totally depends. You don't have to travel for a film like Oro. It's pretty simple. You just write it out and then figure out where do you want to film it. I've been fortunate enough to have some of them come my way. Okay. Some you've cheered. So it's a combination of both.